Welcome to the first ever Big Brother Canada preview episode of the UR Team Number podcast. My name is Michael Helmsdone, and joining me is our marathon runner who considers himself pretty intelligent, Logan Saunders.
Afternoon.
And the Australian who definitely isn't too pretty to swear, Ben Powell.
Howdy.
I love some of these quotes. As with all our shows, we're live for the next hour and a bit, so please get in contact with us for any predictions that you've got for the season and this cast. If you're watching on Google+, you can use the Q&A. If you're watching on YouTube, you can post comments under the video. And if you're on Twitter, you can tweet us using the hashtag yatncast, which you can see when Ben or I are speaking.
Down here, right down here where I'm pointing.
Somewhere. Kind of. Yep. That corner. So, Big Brother Canada, our first official spin-off, because Big Adventure definitely doesn't count.
What big adventure? I'm not sure, what are you talking about?
What missing astronauts?
It's been erased from history.
As it was in the ratings.
And not a single fuck was given that day.
And he definitely isn't too pretty to swear. So, should we start with everyone's favourite on Joker's updates? Ironically, the first person we're talking about has been bottom of the Joker's poll for the past 4 days.
What's Jokers?
The Big Brother update website.
Oh, sounds awful.
Yeah. It's Greg! Hi, Greg!
Ah,
Who does actually have a slight resemblance to John Montgomery.
Yes, he does. This is the season full of people who don't know whose parents didn't know how to spell, right?
Yeah, pretty much. Greg? Really? That is not how you spell
he goes to the same college that my... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go on, you talk. You're the Canadian here.
He goes to the same college that my oldest brother went to. Plus I've gone to the batting cage in Pitt Meadows, but I've yet to run into him. Fun fact, he says he is a former Major League Baseball player, but if you look him up on Baseball Reference, he's only ever been in the minor leagues. He's never actually played in a Major League game.
Well, technically, he said he was an MLB player. That could be minor league baseball. It's only slightly deceptive.
But it's so misleading.
Not a lie. If you think...
Tyler Frederickson has more experience in the NFL in comparison to Greg having experience in Major League Baseball.
On that subject, Tyler's doing a lot better than I expected him to.
Wrong show, Michael. Wrong show.
I don't care.
This isn't a Survivor podcast.
Yeah, we're not starting that up.
Good, don't. Anyway, he got hit by a car, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He was in the finals for Season 2 and had to pull out because of a car crash.
Ah, that's funny.
Which, makes it less fun to mock him now. But it'll almost certainly come up every time he loses in a physical competition.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, the car accident. If only.
Can I just say that I'm already just looking for the bios. I'm already tired of the people who are like, "Oh, I'm actually an X, but I'm not. I'm going to pretend I'm a Y because it's less threatening and I'll put a major target on my back." Nobody cares. Nobody actually cares.
Yeah, but in Greg's defense, at least he did some research into the profession that he's going to say he's in.
See, I tune out when I hear that sort of stuff. So I don't even know what his actual job is, or what he's pretending to be, or why being at his first job is threatening. So I just don't really care.
As Logan said, he's a former minor league baseball player, now a scout and coach from British Columbia. He's going to take 6 years off his age because he's going to say he's 30, and he's going to lie about his profession. He's going
With
to
that face?
Yeah, he's going to say that he is working for Costco. He's even done research on how much you make and what his shift will be, which I believe he said was 5 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Huh.
It's such random information to lie about.
I know.
Imagine if somebody tries to follow up beyond that, and he's like, I don't know.
His 3 words in his bio were passionate, emotional, and real. because someone's going to really write in their bio, no, I'm actually quite fake.
Yeah. He also said he's going to feel up. He's going to like feel up people out. Like he's going to feel up their body language, and that's like. And then he's also suggested he wouldn't mind getting a showman's, and you know, you're 36-year-olds. You're not getting a showman's.
Yeah, he said he was down for a showman's, but only due to mathematical reasons, because apparently 12 of the 16 winners had one. Which I'm not sure about. I think he might be off.
Well, let's just go through them. There's Will had one, Lisa had one, June didn't have one, Drew had one, Maggie didn't have one, Mike had one, Dick didn't have one. Did Adam have one? No, he didn't have one. Will didn't have one.
Well, you can count Sheila.
No. Jordan had one, Hayden had one, who else am I missing? Oh yeah, after that is Rachel had one. Ian didn't have one.
Andy didn't have one.
Andy didn't have one. Derek didn't have one. Netta and Jillian, John and Jillian both had one. So that's only 9.
That's 9 out of 17 seasons. We just put there.
Yeah.
So obviously he won't be, as he says, he won't be successful at mental challenges because he can't count.
Yeah, concussions from baseball are really saying a really big problem for the sport.
Apparently, he's been a super fan for the past 2.5 years as well.
Yeah, didn't he say he had no idea what the show was? Then he looked up and he liked it. Then he wanted to be on the show.
Yeah, I think he's binged every season, but he didn't actually know of it until 2.5 years ago.
And then he got hit by a car. So the show's brought nothing but pain, basically.
Yeah, and his idol is Adele.
Good choice.
The singer?
Yeah. Never mind, he'll find someone like her. Ironically, when I was
theme was pretty good.
When I was looking for this screen cap, it did actually come up with "Did you mean Adele singer nominations?" with just pictures of her holding Grammys. So I was slightly tempted to just put that screen cap in instead of Adele.
Yes. See, Michael, I don't even know why you're still here, and I cannot wait until you take the walk of shame.
Disco.
Okay, bye.
Anyway, our next contestant is... Oh wait, I can't control the overlays. Never mind.
It's Pilar.
Yay! I like Pilar.
I have very few notes for Pilar.
Hopefully,
I have very few notes for anyone. That doesn't really mean anything.
Hopefully, a 15-year-old named Shane doesn't kill her, because that would be a crazy parallel to the show Weeds. But I don't really have too many notes on her either. She doesn't really have too much of an accent as I was expecting, based on the emphasis of being Mexican from her bio.
Hopefully, she won't make an alliance with a guy named Shane just because he has a Boston tattoo.
Yes, that too.
Oh, right.
Hey, no Survivor references here. Strictly Big Brother.
I recognize that reference. Anyway, she actually has a similar voice to Abby Maria from Survivor while we're on it. The accent.
Yeah, but if her mother comes on, will she actually speak in English? Unlike Abby Maria's.
Will her mother actually know where she is?
True.
Anyway, she has a pretty interesting life from the bio. I'm not sure if that really would translate into a television character that well, or a Big Brother character that well. But we will see. There's been ups and downs with the Latino, Hispanic, etc. people of Big Brother, and sometimes they're good and sometimes they're bad. Yvette, Gen City, etc.
We didn't predict where Greg would finish, by the way.
Oh, well, that's hard to do. It's different house dynamics. It's not like the Amazing Race where you can just sort of guess.
True.
There's some people that'll probably go earlier than others.
Yeah. I think first boot pick is a fairly easy one to make, as is winner pick. Everything else in the middle, not so much. So
Johnny's going first, right?
Who is?
Johnny. He's going first, obviously.
No. You know who my first boot pick is.
Obviously.
Because she's so going to wind everyone up. So, Pilar describes herself as competitive with a strong social game. Her 3 words were funny, competitive, and silly. And she wants to win HOH, but doesn't want to get any blood on her hands. So, that's kind of what HOH is.
She also said that she loves snow but hates cold. So she really loves these contradictions in her statements here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fair bet that she won't have to stand in an ice block for 6 hours because that was last season. But there's going to be something stereotypically Canadian as the endurance challenge, I suspect. So it'll either involve mousse, maple syrup, lumberjack they've already done. So yeah, it's probably just going to be something to do with maple syrup.
Well, they did potatoes last season.
Yeah, true. As did Amazing Race Canada, and look where that got them. One of the more boring rounds.
Okay.
So she says she'll be stronger at the physical competitions because she has a poor memory. And obviously, Jillian is her idol.
Did I preface this? I forgot to preface this whole thing by saying I don't really care about gameplay. Like anyone can be a good game player and give straight confessionals. My prerogative is the characters of Big Brother Canada Season 3.
Yeah, I mean, I kept writing down who people's idols were purely because the same 4 names kept coming up. Jillian, John, Ned. No, Neda was really late. Neda was like the 9th bio in, I found her. Emmett was another one, and Gary. All 4 of them just kept coming up every time.
Yay, no Peter! Isn't that great?
As I said,
we got 15 minutes without Peter Diss. Probably going to be a record for us, I assume, for the season.
As I said to Logan before we started, whilst we were waiting for you, I'm just going to keep mentioning Peter every time because it winds you up.
Congratulations. You want a medal?
You are quite fun to wind up, Ben, in case you haven't noticed. That's why we love you.
Good for you.
So, shall we move on to our next person?
I guess so.
I don't know, will we? Or are you just saying it to wind me up?
Yeah, probably. It's Risha. Or Grandma.
Do you know the best demographic in any reality show ever?
What?
Women in their late 30s to early 40s.
Yeah.
Because they always, mostly Big Brother, but they always will deliver. Always.
I mean, she does look a lot like Sherry from Survivor Karamoan as well. I know I keep throwing
only if you squint a little.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not every blonde woman looks like Michael.
Not every blonde woman looks like Sandra Bullock.
I'm colorblind, what can I say? I just see people. So she claims she's going to be a good listener, nurturing, and fit into a big sister role.
Ha! No, she's not.
Big sister on Big Brother?
Yeah, I was going to say, potentially good pun there if it was deliberate. Or potentially reasonable.
The funny thing is that, like, in any Big Brother, in any race or old Big Brother season, usually the oldest person that gets cast is around like 32 years old. So, and she's like 10 years older than that. So and every single time they're always like the parental figure. So I don't know where she's living in that she could be a big sister figure. Maybe she was like 15 years younger, but she might have a slim chance if she was 10 years younger. But she's 41. She's not a big sister. She's the mom. She's the mum of the house.
I guarantee within 2 weeks her nickname will either be Mum or Grandma. She will not be fitting into any big sister role. So the things she's going to miss the most are her cat, her friends, going to brunch, the gym, and the market. to buy groceries.
She's definitely not going to be big sister with an answer like that.
No.
She misses going for brunch
Although-
and shopping for groceries.
Although, when she was asked if she had any special talents, the producer actually had to yell out, "PG, PG."
Yeah,
So-
purely,
That's the kind of
This
person
one it was going to be interesting.
purely because as she admits herself in her video, she's got a very dirty mind.
That's good. This is Big Brother. This is not like a game. This is not like a 75-day game of chess where people will say, "Oh, I'm forming an alliance with this. I'm forming an alliance with this person. I'm blindsiding this person. I'm backdooring this person." I want the crazy people. I love the crazy people. Give me the crazy people.
Basically, what you're saying, Ben, is you want good TV. You want
Yes,
good TV.
we've all heard that over the last year, Michael. I recognize that reference, yes.
Yeah, Ben just wants good TV, what can I say?
Supposedly.
So she also gives her planking record, because everyone cares, at 3 minutes and 26 seconds.
That's pretty impressive. I can only do it for like 50 seconds at most.
Yeah, but no one actually cares.
I wonder if she's
just
going to lie
told-
about her age and say she's 30, just so she can get a showman, and then Greg's going to be all pissed off because he had his showmans with somebody older than him. I think that'd be a fun twist.
To be fair, she doesn't look 41. So she kind of probably could get away with it.
Probably not, no. She doesn't seem like the type of person to pretend she's a different age, though. So
No,
I
true.
mean, she already thinks, oh, I'm the right age to be a big sister in the house. No. But anyway, I hope through divine intervention or something we get a full season of her. So
If she won the money, she would travel the world in a voluntary capacity or put money into a bank account for her niece. Which,
Yep.
noble intentions. Can't mock it that much.
Big aunt rather than a big sister?
Yeah. So, yeah. She's not good with enclosed spaces as well, or heights. Which, are probably both going to come into play fairly soon.
Yeah, definitely not out of her reader.
how far can you go in the Big Brother house?
Well, given we had the zipline competition last year.
It's like that's not height.
Yeah,
like-
but do you not remember Paul being absolutely scared of jumping 10 feet?
Yeah, but that's Paul.
True. On that note, Paul does get routinely mocked during a couple of these videos.
Imagine if Lucille from
Don't
Arrested
worry, it's all
Development was
all part of
doing
his
that
strategy.
zipline.
It's all part of his master plan.
What was that, Logan?
Imagine if Lucille from Arrested Development had to do a zip line. That just wouldn't happen. Her and Risha would get along fine. Definitely identify with each other.
And of
You
course,
may mock Paul, but that's all part of his master plan.
he followed me on Twitter despite the fact I wasn't watching Big Brother Canada at the time. I'm not sure if he still does, but he followed me on Twitter and then joined the Yatten group as well.
Cool stuff.
Good old PJ.
Oh.
So yeah, should we move on to our next person, and the person with the title for the best job title? It's Sarah.
Employee.
Employee. It's like a bartender, but there's cannabis involved. What can we say about Sarah? She's the first person so far to actually admit quite early on that she's a superfan. And she wants to basically be queen of the Misfits.
She's like the second coming of Anik.
And she thinks she's a witch.
I get it, because she has glasses.
Yeah. She thinks she's a witch.
That's always worked out. That's always worked out well in Big Brother.
I was thinking that.
Always. I'm making totally serious of it. Anyone who thinks that they're a wish and Big Brother is always awesome. So
Yeah, assuming she lasts long enough. Because we all know what happened when Mary went into the Big Brother UK house.
Well, that's Mary. So what can you say about Mary? What can you say about Mary that Logan will get? Nothing. So let's move on.
But basically, she was a lady in her 40s who her job was actually being a witch.
30s.
I thought she was in 40s.
30s.
She could have been in Banjo-Kazooie.
Yeah, she was very much a Big Brother UK first boot.
That entire season was full of Big Brother UK first boots, though.
Yeah, true.
Except for Anthony, who ended up winning. Anyway, I should.
So the.
I hope she like gets into. How old is she?
27.
Sarah, yeah, about 27.
Yeah. I hope she who's someone who's around her age but like almost slightly older. I'm setting myself up for.
Yeah, I was gonna say Greg.
I hope she. Oh, wait, never mind. I was setting myself up for a lame joke, so whatever.
Go on.
Ignore me and move on.
We always do. So she claims that the worst thing you can do in Big Brother is isolate people early because misfits still have a vote. And she claims to get along with everybody but would rather not work with know-it-alls, despite the fact that they are the smartest guys around. And about
also, they like to call themselves.
So, what else? She will try to win every HOH she can.
She's the only person who doesn't want to throw the first HOH competition. Everybody else wants to throw it, so I think Sarah here is probably going to win the first competition by default, unless the first HOH competition is answering a phone.
Sadly, Logan, I've not got a Suzette screen cap ready for you. I was tempted, but...
Are you kidding me? You've been backstabbing us this whole podcast, so shut your mouth.
Objection. But instead we'll have Adele doing an objection, kind of. In fact, to that joke, the Tom Plant look of disapproval.
Are we just going to be doing Big Brother Canada memes for the rest of the podcast, or are we going to talk about the people?
No, sounds better.
Who's after a Nick 2.0?
The next person up is Ben's prediction for first boots. Johnny.
What an annoying person. I normally don't use annoying to describe people, but he's just like the personification of annoying people. He's the personification of annoying, boring superfan archetype on reality shows that can't stop talking about, oh, I'm such a big fan, I'll analyze people. I'm good at analyzing people. Look at me, I'm going to run circles around the people. Look at me. Oh, I'm such a Big Brother superfan. Like, oh, my dog's name is Vito. Congratulations. Try explaining that to normal people.
Oh, I hope Johnny lasts a while just so Ben keeps ranting.
Yeah, it's just predictions. Remember when back in Big Brother Canada 1 when people thought Peter wouldn't be horrible, or when Kenny wouldn't be horrible in Big Brother Canada 2?
Oh, I've realised why we decided to do this podcast.
He's the only person in the cast that isn't a cat lover. Everybody else always talks about their cats. They won't shut up about the cats. But at least Johnny went a different route and said he prefers a dog. At least there's some variety here.
Yeah, his one item.
Well, obviously, that means it's awful because cats are the greatest pet on earth.
Tom Plant's objection. Or disapproval, even.
Well, he can say that. He can say whatever he wants. That redneck.
So Johnny's one item would be a phone because he watches live feeds, and also
because he could probably win the first HOH competition as well.
Yes. All you need is a phone.
Yeah, and also his dog veto. So he obviously doesn't realise what the number 1 means. And he is the first person to claim that Nedda is his idol. Which surprises me that it took 9
He has
bios
good taste, though.
for Nedda to be mentioned as a good person or a good player.
Also, one thing I noticed in his profile is he's very judgmental against people who act stereotypical.
Yeah,
So,
he
have you looked at yourself?
hates people with screechy voices or who play the dumb blonde or who are a pig because he's OCD.
I bet he has OCD because when there's an odd number of M&Ms in a bowl, it irks him.
I must admit, I kind of agree with you, Ben, that I think Johnny will be out fairly quickly because he's going to annoy people.
Yes.
I still don't think he's going to annoy people as much as Cindy is, but I think he'll be out fairly soon.
Cindy's just too predictable at first boot, so...
Yeah, but that's kind of the point.
Isn't the whole thing they try forcing on Big Brother expect the unexpected?
Yeah, but unless there's a twist that makes Cindy immune, I suspect she's probably going to be one of the first nominations.
Like, winning veto or head of household?
No,
One
I mean,
of those wacky twists?
like the room that Arissa pointed out in the house tour is called the Vault, and if she told us what's in there, she'd have to kill us. So there's obviously going to be an opening day twist. We just don't know what it is yet because Global can't bother telling us yet.
See, Arissa threatens to kill viewers. That makes her much better than Julie Chen as a host.
But first,
just Julie Chen just threatens to self-destruct when somebody pushes the power button off. But at least Arissa, she can do some damage.
So how do you rate Johnny's
But first-
chances, Logan?
There are a couple other people that I think will go before him, but I don't see him getting anywhere near the end of this game.
No. I think he'll probably be pre-jury.
Hopefully.
At least.
There's one good thing in this world.
So, shall we move on to our kind of John replacement this season? Bobby.
Woo, I like Bobby. He's good. He is good people.
Yeah, I mean, I like him more after reading his bio than sort of the initial impressions.
I didn't get around to reading his bio. I just like him from the intro video.
So he is a rock climbing instructor from Ontario. He describes himself as crazy, spontaneous, and fun. And he does hot yoga to relax, so he might get on well with 30-year-old Greg, who would bring in a yoga mat and block.
Yoga Brothers.
Yeah, his talents include solving a Rubik's Cube pretty quickly, and his other talents
Pretty quickly, so vague.
And being able to wear a toque like every other 20s guy in the world.
At least in Canada. And he went twice on holiday to a resort that turned out to be full of swingers. He didn't know the first time, but definitely knew the second time. Which is maybe my line of the bios. His one item would be a slack line so he could teach people to walk it. But I suspect that might be a production nightmare if that ever happened. Because, if he pissed anyone off, they'd probably try and strangle him with it. And the one competition that he mentions expecting is a memory competition on previous American seasons. Which is, complete rubbish.
Is there really anything to remember about American seasons?
No.
After All Stars? No, not really.
And he says that his Mum will be glad he's in a safe place and not off surfing, and his dad will be waiting for him to come back to work.
Nothing is safer than being on national television, being watched for your every move 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Very safe environment.
At least his mum will be able to watch him on the live feeds.
At least people know where he is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like Colby Donaldson to me. She would do if Colby from Survivor was on Big Brother.
Hi, baby.
Huh.
And obviously his idol is John. And he's also a fan of Emmett and Gillian, like, every other person in this cast.
Yes, I believe he referred to Gillian as a babe. So, yeah, he definitely does sound like a guy in his 20s.
But don't tell Emmett that.
And day drunk. Maybe he said it while he was day drunk.
Yeah, I kind of like Bobby. I think he's going to be quite funny. He's obviously the John Pardy demographic.
Did you see the wicked headstand he did?
Yeah, I did, actually. He said he has different activities for every season as well. So, shall we move on to my strong prediction for first boot? It's Cindy with an S, guys. With an S.
I love her. I love Cindy with an S.
Oh. She has...
At least she made an impression, unlike a lot of this cast.
I think, looking at my notes, I have the most on Cindy. Purely because if she lasts a while, I'm probably going to be bagging on her a little bit.
Bagging? Oh, bagging.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's an assistant cruise director living in Toronto.
I hope that Miss Congeniality here... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go. No. You start.
You go, Logan.
I hope that here. I hope that Cindy will be a very fitting day for her eviction. All she would need on the way out is a light jacket, if I'm not mistaken.
She also said she's allergic to running, and she's allergic to running. I feel that. I feel that so deeply. Also, she spent herself into debt. I don't feel that, but that's pretty interesting too.
And she also claims she's too pretty to swear, so she doesn't anymore. Which, is up there for another great quote. And her biggest pet peeve is people spelling her name with a C. Seriously, between her bio and her video, she did mention it probably. Yeah. Between her bio,
Okay.
Between her bio and her video, she did probably mention that it was spelled with an S about 7-8 times, I think. It was a lot. And
she also said she's gonna let people win competitions. That's nice of her.
She's gonna let, yes, very much. Otherwise, Cindy would just be a massive challenge beast at every single challenge that came across. She would just be MVP across the board.
She also says she feels like people will align against her over how she spells her name.
Her BFFNs?
We're team against Cindy with an S. And she ends her video. She ends her video with the hashtag bbcan Cindy with an S wins, and then says the phrase, "I know it's 160 characters on Twitter." She has.
All of her tweets must be cut off by 20 characters, then, eh? You never get to see the last 2.5 words.
She just uses longer.
This is injustice.
I'm going to put this out there as well. She has never seen Big Brother before. Ever.
That's good.
Or been on Twitter.
No.
The best thing you can do for a lot of reality shows is, don't stock a show with people who've all seen it before and all know the game, because then it'll be boring. You want to stock an entire reality show with people who have never seen the show before and have no idea what they're doing, because that's funny.
You mean like Survivor Nicaragua?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Her 3 words are sassy, spontaneous, and honest.
One of them has an H instead of an S.
Yeah, I pointed that out. couldn't honest have had an S too.
Sonist?
Yes. She's sassy, spontaneous, and sonist.
She
Go on.
Does that mean she makes sonnets?
Yes.
Yes.
She's a sonnet writer and not a pageant queen. And she wants people in the house to underestimate her, so instead of an assistant cruise director, that immensely sort of scary profession, intimidating.
Oh, you gotta get those cruise directors out of here like that. Most threatening occupation upon entering the Big Brother house. Bam! Out of here.
Best thing would be is if someone has a voting comment to say that her ship has sailed or something.
Nah, that'd be pretty boring.
Just boat.
No, nobody cares.
And she doesn't have an idol, but compares herself to Gary and Heather.
Good choices. I like her already.
And she also says her last boyfriend was a Channing Tatum stripper.
Not her current boyfriend? Didn't hold on to a current boyfriend that was a Channing Tatum stripper?
No, she's single and ready to mingle.
I like how many times she referenced being Asian to Rabah. That was one of the things that amused me a bit. Why Canada? Oh, because it's good because I'm Asian. Oh, what do you want to bring into the Big Brother? Oh, tapioca and bubble tea because I'm Asian. I thought that was just amusing all the way throughout.
I do just have one note for her, which is, I'm so Asian. There's two things that anyone will know about Cindy after reading her bio. One is that she spells it with an S, obviously, and two is that she's very Asian.
Well, there hasn't really been like many notable Asian Big Brother characters before, has there? Like, recent history at least.
No.
I don't know. Kat was a pretty solid character that made a long season run, if I'm not mistaken.
Objection. So yeah, not a lot more we can say about Cindy with an S, really. Apart from,
I hope she lasts the whole season.
Yeah, I suspect she's going to be out quite early because she's going to rub everyone the wrong way.
Well, you never know what the house dynamics will be like. You just got to see which people click with who, and she might somehow end up at the top of the power hierarchy. I mean, weirder things have happened.
Shall we move on to our next person, which is Maya?
Ah, cool.
Who is
She looks like Katie Price.
Yeah, she sort of looks kind of like a Persian Katie Price. So she is a chiropractor and entrepreneur from Toronto.
Cool.
She's more worried about the memory-related competitions as she's a marathon runner and pretty intelligent. And her one item would be her family, because they all watch the Canadian, American, Indian, and Australian Big Brothers together, but not the UK one.
Does she lose points right there in your eyes?
No, because I don't always have time to watch the UK one either, so I can't really say much.
So she watches the Australian one?
She watches the Australian one and not the British one.
Cool. I hope she didn't watch the last year's Australian one. That's like nothing anyone wants to see.
Well, yeah. And she wants to give some of her money to her parents if she wins, invest in her companies, and travel around either Southeast Asia or Canada itself. And she has...
I like how she said that she would take her parents into the house, which is very odd because the only way you get in the Big Brother house is if you're open to showmances. So if you bring parents into the house, that could get awkward very quickly.
You can touch your votes.
Yeah, true.
That is true. That is true.
She has the single longest favourites list as well of anyone. In no particular order, she's a fan of Emmett, Gary, Adele, Ali, Heather, John, Kenny, and Neda.
Apart from Kenny and Ali, that's a good list.
Yeah, 6 out of 8. 75%. Actual 75% math, unlike the 75% that Greg tried to apply to showmances, but yeah, it's a pretty good ratio.
And she intends to win competitions and have a great social game.
A lot of contestants are, including Naya here, say that a lot of people are going to approach them with their problems. I think a lot of these contestants are going to have problems on their own, alone. So this is going to be a very messy therapy session if that's what all these contestants are looking for. I don't think they're all going to be able to play counselor with each other.
No, I mean, there's a better instance of it with Brittany. Like, oh, honey, she stole your lip gloss. But yeah, there's a lot of
Yes, we'll get to that.
camp counselors, I suppose is the best description of them.
And not enough campers?
Yeah, exactly. So, what else can we say about her? Her biggest fear is being evicted, especially in week 1.
Yes.
And despite not being up for a showman, she'll do anything to win.
Anything?
Anything, including
Well,
what Greg said of being willing to shave his body to win.
Well, she's out of the running for winning now. Don't you need to actually need to actually be in a showman to win Big Brother these days? Well, ever actually?
Yeah, I mean Derek, Andy.
I meant Canada.
Oh, I know. Objection. So, shall we move on to our?
No, we'll stay on.
There's one more thing
We'll
with
stay on
Naya.
Naya forever. We'll stay on Naya forever.
Can't say no.
What's with her? It's her stupid damn outtake. That was one of the stupidest outtakes I saw in all of the casting videos for this season.
I like that even though the producer said, yeah, we'll cut them out, they did not cut them out. They left them in.
That's the joke.
Well, yeah, but they did it on like 4 or 5 of these videos.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was such a bad joke. What? I said damn? It's like, is that supposed to be funny? I like everything else about Naya. I think that was just a really stupid outtake for the edited video.
Yeah.
That wasn't funny at all.
So,
Good guy.
She has better hair
Global
than me.
TV.
yeah, Logan's just got hair envy.
Anyway, who's next?
It is, for some reason I didn't have his overlay ready, Bruno!
Yay, another person who's. I'm gonna pretend I'm not X because I'm gonna pretend I'm Y instead of X because I put the flag on my back. Yay!
So he is a construction worker, not a cop. And he's...
Why does everyone have such tough last names to pronounce this season?
Yeah,
there are
that's
very
why- isn't he
few with
actually
a
a cop?
straightforward last name.
That's why I'm not going anywhere near the last names on this preview. Just
Is he actually a cop?
No, he's a construction worker, but, you know, he says he's a construction worker, as did Tony.
Good, so I get the reference. Anyway, he's also a black belt in karate and a world-class gamer. That's pretty interesting. And he's also a dad and wife, dad and husband.
A dad and wife, yes.
Dad and wife.
You know it's 8 a.m. here, right? And I barely woken up.
He's a dad and wife on the weekends.
Yes.
Not that funny, really.
So he says he can't stand bullying, arrogance, or ignorance. Welcome to Big Brother. And
That's Big Brother US. Sorry.
And he's going to throw competitions. Yay! Seriously, is anyone going to try and win competitions this year apart from Sarah?
Question: are there any stereotypes about Ottawa people that I should know about?
No, not that I know of. There's only one
Michael,
major stereotype with the guy from Surrey, but in terms of people from Ottawa, no.
Fun fact.
Michael, I was obviously not asking you because you don't live in Ottawa, or Canada, all that
Ottawa,
continent,
England.
actually.
Yeah, fun facts. Our voice of Siri is actually the guy who does the voiceover on The Weakest Link. Fact.
Okay, I don't know what any of those words mean. Cool.
You've never seen The Weakest Link. I'm so disappointed in you, Ben.
Have I actually not seen the Linguist Link, or am I just doing it just to get a reaction out of you?
Probably, knowing you. Bruno is another person who doesn't seem to know what the number 1 is, because the one thing that he would bring in would be his wife and kids.
Yeah, he said he's
His family.
competing for wife and kids. Those are pretty high stakes to compete for in the Big Brother house. So if he loses, do they just go away?
Yeah, he's literally carrying his family on his back. Some Survivor references.
But seriously, he never shuts up about his wife and 2 kids for the whole interview. It's like it is every other sentence.
Yeah, is that going to annoy everyone?
Well, he's 31 years old and he's already a family person, so...
And he doesn't have an
He'll
idol.
be like Guile from Street Fighter.
He doesn't have an idol, but liked Paul and Adele's personalities, but not necessarily their game.
Good choice. Good choice.
I like his ear piercings.
He sort of looks like... His ears sort of look the same as the way they portray Redeads on the Toon Link Zelda games. Fact.
Are you just saying random words?
Yeah. It's a Nintendo reference, Ben. You're too young. So, shall we move on to one of Ben's favourites? Someone I know is one of Ben's favourites. It's Zach!
Yay! He's kind of my favourite. No, he's not like a full favourite, but, you know.
He's
Obviously there is... Yeah. Like, basically, he's on paper, he's sort of like, basically awful, but he totally is not actually awful, but especially because, you know, that tweet.
What tweet, Ben?
You know, the one where he actually tweets Peter from Big Brother Canada 1.
I wasn't.
And the other one? Anyone who recognises Peter Brown is among the worst people to ever play Big Brother? Okay, in my book.
I haven't got the one where Zach calls Peter a pussy, but I have got the first one. The one where he calls him an awful BB player.
Yeah, and when Peter replies saying, with some attempt at putting him down, is like, go eat a salad and cry, pussy. Okay, I like you, Zach.
Yeah, the Australian message.
I know you sort of compared Bobby to John, but I sort of see this guy as sort of a John because he's fairly laid back and he's also like sort of professional sports person. So that's a pretty good combination to be in Big Brother.
I think the reason Bobby is more John than Zach is purely because Bobby mentions all day drinking, and we all know that the Newfies love a booze.
I don't. I'm unaware of this stereotype of Newfoundlanders over Canada.
Do you not remember the booze challenge with John and Alison?
I do remember that. I looked it up before I was watching before I went to the podcast today. I linked it to a friend.
Yeah, fun fact. That was one of only 2 clips that I saw of last season until you made me watch it. The other, of course, being Ica's letter shredding, which if they can recreate will be amazing.
No, don't recreate it. Create new moments.
Or even better, get her back for a veto competition or something and make it letter shredding themed. Because that's what the American one would do.
And as we know, this show is better than the American one, so don't you dare suggest that again.
Yeah, true. So he's a student from Saskatchewan, and he can relate to anyone. His plan is to build a social game first and then physically try and win every single competition.
So that's why I see him as a John type, because, you know, good social game, former sports person, recognises terrible people when he sees them.
And he wants to work with people who are lazy or floaters. So basically, he's going to be their life vest.
I get that reference.
Yes, a Rachel Riley reference. He shares one similarity with Peter, though. He wants an alliance of 4 people. Hopefully he doesn't call it Quattro. As long as we stay from the Quattro name, maybe he can be exonerated from this.
Yeah, there's nobody else in Big Brother history who has ever had an alliance with 4 people. Ever. At all. No way. Especially not last season, in season 2.
Oh. I love that we're just trying to make Peter references now. So he's open to a show or bromance, and also open to lying, but we'll stay who he is.
Bromance. Can we as a species remove that term from our vocabulary by 2017?
No. His...
Yes.
It's in the Oxford English Dictionary, if I recall correctly.
Oh, it will be. I'll be very surprised.
Of course, though, England is awful.
So, so Zach's 3 words are fun, energetic, and competitive. And the one thing he would bring in with him would be music or football hats.
I thought he would bring in the sprinkler. Did you see him do the sprinkler in the cast video there?
Yes.
It was. He has skills. He has skills.
And he says he might struggle with endurance competitions because of his height. At a paltry 6'4".
Is he going to lie about being an athlete?
I think he's going to say he's a student. I don't think he's going to admit that he's a football player.
Why?
So he's going to go by like
I've always said, nobody really cares about.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Nobody really cares about like what your past profession is, if your brother. Like only people who are trying to get screen time in the diary room really play up the whole. That guy's a former professional athlete. That puts a major target on his back. Why would he ever admit that? He's so stupid at this game. I'm Zach Rance, etc.
So obviously John is his idol, and he also likes Jillian. Shocker. So, shall we move on to another person who I know we all quite like?
Yes, but keep that tweet up.
I can't. I've got to show Brittany instead, sorry.
Brittany, yay.
Woo! Who wants to see
We've
me?
never had a plus-sized model from Calgary before who was a female on Big Brother Canada before. That's never happened. All right.
Has there ever been a plus size?
Or should I say, objection?
Oh, right. I thought she was an actress.
Interchangeable professions.
Yeah, she's an actress. So she's a plus-size model originally from Calgary who now lives in New York. Poor her. And her plan...
Who is?
Brittany is.
Oh.
And she wants to charm the pants off everyone.
Who, Danielle or Brittany?
Brittany! We're not even talking about Danielle anymore.
Then why is the picture up there?
Fine, I'll switch it back to Brittany.
Thank you.
So demanding, these Australians.
Hey, you didn't want... It's your fault you didn't want us anymore.
Australian.
Yeah, first we send you over there, and now you want to come back.
Well, we said we wanted to come back. I'd rather go the other way and live in Canada.
What's that about?
I'd rather live in America than go live in England.
Yeah, I can see that. So she says she used to fall for the bad boys.
She shook the bad boys, like Sean Desmond.
And her 3 words are
Canadian reference.
Are funny, outgoing, and energetic. And she can't live without hot sauce.
I like that. Someone who knows what they want, and it's not really that hard, and it's sort of lame.
And apparently New York has prepared her for the house by making her deal with everyone, especially in the fashion industry. And she wants to be a sort of big sister. Oh, honey,
Oh yeah,
she stole your lip
fashion.
gloss.
Fashion industry, yeah. If you're a plus size person in the fashion industry, people can be sort of, you know, word that has to get bleeped from the year in review to you.
And like most people in the season, she wants a Neda and John style alliance. Seriously, they shouldn't ask the question, who's your Big Brother Canada idol? Because, you know, how many people are mentioned? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... 11 people in total are mentioned. Between 16 bios. And let's be honest, most of those references come from one person, which is Naya. They really shouldn't ask this question.
Especially since there's only been 2 seasons, so...
Exactly. And she
Did they ask something like this in the first season?
Probably. No, it's probably Big Brother US Idol then, wasn't it? So her one item would be a phone, as she's a social media addict, not a mogul. and apparently any competition to do with maths will spaz her out.
That's not an offensive term anywhere outside of North America.
Oh, wait. And if she's seen any seasons, she's only seen Canadian season 1, as her idol is Gary, and she loves Emmett and Jillian.
Good choices. Good choices.
She says New York is full of rats, and she said that would prove to be useful in the Big Brother house.
I will vouch for the fact that New York is full of rats. We didn't like New York.
Wonder if Charlie from Alien Philadelphia would listen, because then he could be king of the rats.
Or king of the nerds.
That's a reference like two people will get.
The throne of games.
Yes, we get it. You've referenced that twice now.
Shut up. So,
No.
So next person is Godfrey.
Yes, my favorite.
A guy who was scared of snow.
Well, to be fair, it was the first time I seen it, and he thought they were going to be like rocks.
I must
And
admit.
then he saw the white people outside, and I was telling him to get inside.
I must admit, of all the plans that anyone has for this season, Godfrey has the greatest plan ever.
What's that?
He says in his bio he's going to take a ring into the house for the sole purpose of planting it in one half of a showman's bag to claim that he's married. And try and break them up.
That is the greatest. That is like one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
If he does this will be one of the greatest Big Brother moments of all time, I suspect.
As long as I don't make it, this is really good for my game because it means there's not much of a target on my back. I just hope they just like play it out and just like show it as someone doing this shit for their own amusement. That would be hilarious.
He's basically taken the Russell Hunt strategy of trying to make everyone miserable and then hoping they won't realise.
Don't you dare associate with him with Russell Hantz.
No, he wants to keep everyone distracted and paranoid. That's what he says.
This is the reason we receded from your government.
No, that was because you were
Commonwealth.
sent off on a boat for stealing a loaf of bread.
Godfrey is
I'm pretty sure we receded like 108 years after that.
Stop
No,
the
you're
crumbling.
Sorry, Logan.
What I really like about Godfrey, actually a very close friend of mine, and he was born and raised in Iowa, and it's just hilarious because they both have such similar personalities where they just want to prank people as much as possible and just be completely carefree with what they're doing. So I'm very much looking forward to how Godfrey plays out in the house. I don't think he can make it to the end, but he's just going to have so much fun with all of his ridiculousness.
I honestly suspect that Godfrey's probably going to be the Ned-style sort of person who gets so close to the end but then gets screwed.
What I've learned,
I don't know. I think people are going to see through his antics pretty quickly.
What I've learned from reality television is the people from Zimbabwe have a 100% success rate in reality television.
Only getting pregnant in hot tubs.
I'll let you know. She admitted in 2010 that she didn't actually happen. Obviously.
Yeah, no, but still, it's hilarious.
Also, if it's pretty funny that the two people who have been on a Western style Big Brother season have both been like shit stirring like manipulators with afros. That's pretty.
Can I just point out, Logan has no idea what we're referencing here.
Makosi Masambasi.
I'm clueless.
Yeah, in season 6, I think it was, of the UK one.
Season 6.
Yeah, there's a lady named Makosi from Zimbabwe who was mental. She was part of one of the more amusing casts in UK history. Claimed at one point.
The most amusing cast.
Yeah, actually, especially with
season 6 of Big Brother in the UK was like, you know how Kasai is a collection of crazy people put together in a house. for the amusement of the public. And they're based in any other season. If you put a Kasaya person on any other tribe, they'd be the first boot from that tribe. This is an entire house of like 16 people who are all 15 people, or 15 or so people who are all first boots, who will all be first boots in any season, and they're all put in the same house together.
And just like with Kasaya, the quote-unquote most normal person won, purely because he wasn't as crazy.
Suri didn't win.
Well, I mean, like Otis.
Otis isn't playing. He's a condescending crazy person.
Yeah,
like I said, Suri is the most normal person in that tribe.
On any
Actually, Melinda is, and you know, the Fates decided she was to leave first.
Remember me? But yeah, Mikosi had a showman, claimed that she got pregnant with him in the hot tub. That season we also had a incident with a wine bottle, with the secret garden where people were mimicked to be naked as intruders to the house. What else?
Like the war room, but better.
Yeah. The White Witch was the first boot that we mentioned earlier. Yeah,
Roberto! I love. There's just so much good in that season, even though it's like you're watching the real dregs of humanity in there, but it's still great.
That was the one with Spy Task as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. It also like sort of tangentially ties back to Godfrey because, you know, Zimbabwe, I guess.
Yeah. Put it this way.
Really, but...
If Godfrey claims he gets pregnant in a hot tub with his showman, then that will be hilarious.
Okay. Also, he said with $100,000 he's going to buy a lot of cat food. He was starting to struggle with other guys or girls, and he's a crazy cat owner. He's possibly a crazy cat stealer. Like the cats he gets might already have owners.
Did you pick up on what he's going to claim he does as a job?
I did not. What does he actually do of a job, and what he's going to claim that he's going to do of a job?
He's a psychology student, but he's going to tell people that he dropped out of high school and is now a stripper.
Okay. First of all, like the one thing I don't like in Big Brother or Survivor is people pretending that knowing psychology makes you is the grade A weapon of all reality television, but that's just funny.
Yeah, he is basically going to be the entirety of the Kasaya tribe in Big Brother Canada.
Hey, well, we have like a lot of crazy people with him. We have Risha, we have Willow, we have Risha, Willow, probably Sarah, Cindy with an S.
If he lasts long enough, he will be hilarious. Is my suspicion.
I like how out of nowhere his idol is Arnold Schwarzenegger. I was not expecting that to happen. And then he goes and brags on about training at the gym twice a day, just like Arnold.
Get to the chopper!
Land the ring now!
Anyway, talking of Willow, who's a bit mental. It's Willow! Who's a bit mental.
Oh my god, I love her. She's irritating as fuck. She has like she's one of those people. She's gonna like say, oh, I'm gonna pretend to be normal for a bit. No, she's not a person she's not a person who can do that. She's just going.
If her and Godfrey become pranking buddies, I'll be very disappointed.
I love that her entire thing is that she's very personality heavy and she doesn't really care about strategy that much. Like she says, "Oh, I'm just gonna make people think I'm not much of a threat." That's good. That's the extent of strategy I like in Big Brother because like everything else is boring. But just like devoting 1% of your time to strategy and 99% of your time to irritating the hell out of every person you ever meet, intentionally or not, I can get behind that. I can totally get behind that.
Yeah, if her and Godfrey don't become best friends, I'll be quite disappointed because they both want to pull pranks.
They're both from Atlantic Canada too.
Yep.
The only two contestants from Atlantic Canada, and we've deemed them to be the two biggest wild cards.
Well, she's from Nova Scotia but lives in Calgary, and he's from Toronto, originally Zimbabwe.
Oh, never mind. I'm thinking of someone else then.
Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah.
So her 3 things that she would bring in on the video would be a cat, a phone, and past seasons of Big Brother Canada. She also kind of forgets that she'd need something to play said videos on, but...
She answered a question with OMG. Does
Yeah.
she lose or earn points based on answering a question with OMG?
Loses points,
Win.
but then...
Win.
then
She wins
gains
points.
them for-
Ignore Michael. She wins points. Ignore him totally. She wins points.
She gets infinite kudos points for a later answer, which is, what is her cat's name? Did anyone...
So, is it better than Sarah's cat's names?
Not as good, but, it's called Nala. Which, best Disney film of all time.
Yes.
Anyone who slags off The Lion King is wrong, can I just point out. So
Okay.
she doesn't want to be
I'll
the
not.
the first HOH, but it isn't in her nature to throw a competition. And she's scared of being voted out on the first day or week.
She has the most Canadian last name possible. Pretty much in Canada, having the last name McDonald is pretty much equivalent to having the last name Smith in the U.S. Fun fact.
I thought wouldn't the most Canadian last name be Aboot Moose Maple Syrup Hockey?
It's a close second. Close second. McDonald first, and then Aboot Syrup Hockey, whatever, poutine. I don't know.
I think hashtag Moose Hockey might be a hashtag I need to start using for this season.
Moose Hockey.
So she also doesn't want anyone in the house using her toothbrush until they get to know her. Which is a bit of an odd peeve.
Was that a Big Brother 2 reference for her?
Probably.
Also, the third most common
Shannon using another
the third most common surname in Canada is Degrassi Poutine. Sorry.
I'm so sorry. To any Canadians watching it, I'm so sorry for Ben.
Oh.
Generally.
Hey, well, if you did your research and thought up recent Australian references you can make, you'd be getting on me too. But unfortunately, I'm the one who does my research.
Bogan, Kyle and Jackie O, Hamish and Andy, Quiche. Quiche.
What are you from the 1990s?
Not with Quiche. Quiche.
I don't even know what that is.
Guys, peace here. Sorry. Let's get back on track.
Oh, go ahead, some
I didn't
poutine.
even know that there was a town named Lower Sackville in Canada. But I learned it because of Willow.
Trust Logan to pick up on the one smutty hometown.
It's the creators. It's where Little Big Planet was created, I think.
Lower Sackville?
Really?
I just got that. That's a good one.
So
Because if you didn't get that, I'm gonna go all Amy O'Hara on you. I'm gonna beat you down like a stepchild.
redheaded step-
Enough with the Survivor Guatemala references. I held off on referencing Gary Hogaboom when we said that Zach's gonna lie about being an amateur football player.
Yeah.
Whereas Zach says, "Oh, I'm not that Zach Olenek, but I do go to University just like Zach Olenek."
Yeah, I held off on a.
I did once tell Peter to go cry into his cellar and call him his pussy, but I'm not Zach Dick.
Listen, Ben, we know you're a fan of Peter, but you can get his autograph after the season. So if Willow won the money, she'd spend it on her siblings and a trip to Disneyland. Noble intentions. Is all I have to
Willow
say.
in Disneyland. I
Yeah.
have a dog named Willow.
Thank you for your contribution there, Logan.
Yes. I felt that was
so
relevant.
obviously, as with most people, Jillian is her favourite. Stupid question again. So, next, number 14 is Ashley.
But Rochelle 2.0, man.
She looks a lot like Alison. They've even put her in the same clothes, I think, as Alison's promo image.
Can I just say how strange it is that last year on Big Brother UK there was a contestant called Ashley Coyle, and then there's another contestant called Helen Wood, and now there's a contestant called Ashley Wood.
Yes, you can.
I wasn't asking for permission. I was pointing it out.
Oh, sorry. So Ashley is unemployed and from Calgary, and her 3 words are friendly, goofy, and sassy girlfriend.
She also
Why
said.
people are saying sassy?
Yeah.
She also said, "Oh, I'm not really much for girly girl. I like being with the guys," and that's like, oh, shoot me.
So she doesn't want to win competitions early, especially the first HOH. And her one item would be her phone, so she could contact her family because she's so close to them. She's one of 7 siblings, and she's one of many.
Hopefully, she at least brings her Chris Farley dance into the house, because she did that during the beginning of the cast video there. Nearly topped what's his face's sprinkler there.
I love how we were looking at the bios. Logan was looking at the dancing.
Yes, dancing with the house guests. That'll be the next spin-off.
You know, 6 months from now, when people look back on this season, they'll remember the dancing in the bio videos.
And Ashley's one of many people who's worried about the mental competitions. Everyone seems to be really sort of confident about the physical competitions, then really worried about the mental ones. And she wants to.
She was also the only one who provided an interesting answer to what her favorite thing about being Canadian is. The only one to provide an interesting answer.
Yeah, I skipped over that question because it was, pointless. I know Canadian.
Was Risha, speaking of the I'm proud to be Canadian one, was Risha the one who said was she the one who said that she's proud to live in a country of diversity and good healthcare, and she was bragging on it's what, you expect me to say maple syrup?
I think so.
That was Risha, yes,
anyway.
That said that. And then we have Ashley here who says maple syrup is the best and likes bacon and eggs and a big breakfast. That's her favorite thing all the time.
I can get down with that. So she wants to use the $100,000 to go on holiday with her friends and family to somewhere hot, as well as put some aside for when she moves out of her parents' house.
Next.
The Brady Bunch family.
Yeah. And she...
Hey, her hidden talent.
Burping on command. She's going to fit right in.
No, she cannot burp on command. She's a naturally loud burper when she does burp. So, something to look out for besides the dancing.
Oh, those live feeds are going to be so interesting with her on them. So her strategy is to be nice to people, including people who everyone doesn't expect her to align with.
Can I just point out how strange it is you have left you left the worst 3 people for last?
It was randomized. And you had time to ask me to switch them like you did with 26. Not that I mind putting Kevin and Jordan last purely because I think we're going to talk for quite a while on both of them.
Did I ask to put them last? I don't remember doing that. Did I?
No, on Amazing Race 26, Holly and Jonathan were originally going to be last, but then we decided to put a more interesting team last. Because, we're not going to end on a boring team.
We didn't know. We didn't. Whatever.
Anyway, should we move on to one of our final 2? And someone who I am a screen cap for.
How about we just end it right here and not care about the last 2?
No, Kevin.
We're completionists.
Who is that again? What's his name?
Kevin. And
I'm
what?
serious.
Martin.
Was it Kevin? I don't really remember those being a Kevin.
Any guesses on what my reference is going to be?
He's a poker player.
A poker player. That's beyond white trash, darling.
That was the worst American accent.
You don't remember his accent. You'd understand.
That's not even a person accent. That's like a 1920s gangster accent.
Ben, watch the video.
I mean, she wasn't even.
You'll understand it actually wasn't that.
She wasn't even alive then. Well, whatever.
I'm not sure. So yes, my first note on him is he is a poker player. That's beyond White Trash, darling. And what similarity does he have to Ben's favourite player ever? He's going to throw every competition in a spectacular fashion.
And be honest about it.
And be honest about it, yeah.
He's so going within like the first 2 rounds. No, everyone's going to want to get rid of him as soon as he brags about throwing competitions.
Because we all know that poker players have such a rich history in reality TV for doing so well.
Because they're such huge threats.
Between the Frenchman, Garrett, who had a entire body bikini Brazilian before he went for Survivor Cagayan, and now Kevin. This can only end horribly for him.
Maybe he'll play for the Canadian power of veto.
He's basically like a lobotomized Zach Rance, basically, who thinks, if I say all this stuff, I'm such a huge threat. Look at me, I'm gonna win all the competitions. I'm gonna outstrategize everyone. I don't care. Nobody cares.
Hey Ben, did you know that Zach Rance is now a social media mogul?
I don't care.
So he would spend.
I pity anyone who actually follows him.
He would spend the entire $100,000 on a trip to Vegas. Woo tequila. And his Big Brother Canada idol is Arlie.
Arlie?
Well, of course it is.
Did he say that Arlie got screwed over by the house?
Yeah.
Were we all watching the same season?
And his strategy.
It wasn't him who did something wrong. It was the house. They were wrong.
His strategy is to relax and let people screw their own game.
Yes.
He'll do that pretty well. Screw his own game, I mean.
And with Ben's favourite phrase of the entire bios, he's not open to a showmance, but will manipulate the women.
I think my biggest issue with Kevin is that he says he's going to charm the pennies out of the other players, but pennies have been discontinued in Canada for about the past 2 years now, so charming pennies out of them is completely meaningless and worthless.
He's going to charm the pennies from heaven.
Should he charm the 75-cent pieces out of them?
Yes. Yes. So that's the three-quarter coin coming later this year, along with Netflix Premium Gold Plus.
And the $2 coin known as a spoonie.
Yes, of course.
So his 3 items would be a pig, fuzzy peaches, and a poker set. So despite the fact he's going to hide that he's a poker player, he'd want to bring in a poker set with him.
And his stuffed piggy.
Yeah.
He's not going to manipulate anyone. He wants to bring in a stuffed piggy. That's the sign of an emotionally stunted person.
And he says that he's willing to do anything to win, as do most people.
Even go 75 days without fuzzy peaches.
Yeah, even go 75 days without fuzzy peaches and without eating fuzzy peaches in his HOH room, which, how would he get an HOH room if he's not going to win a competition? With Rachel from last season.
How do people like him get how do people like this, the Zacks and the Peters of the world get a fan base? Who is their target audience?
I can't wait for Ben to have to keep talking about...
It's you, isn't it? You're his target audience, aren't you?
Pretty much. I like the people that you don't just to, have to keep mentioning them. And our final person.
You must be really boring if the only thing the only reason you like someone is just to piss someone else off.
I'm quite boring, actually, yeah. So Jordan is a history student from British Columbia, and his 3 words are jocular, perceptive, and resilient.
I was born about 20 minutes away from Surrey. I'm not saying Abbotsford was all that nice, but Surrey is not a good place to be either. It was pretty much competing with Winnipeg there for being the stolen car capital of Canada.
Is it worse than
So
Hastings?
luckily there's no cars in the Big Brother Canada house, just for everyone else's sake.
Yeah, is it worse than
Well,
Hastings Street in Vancouver?
It would be more diluted throughout Surrey. If you took East Hastings Street and just dilute it through an entire city, that could possibly be Surrey in the eyes of people from Abbotsford.
Oh, good. So his plan is to win people's trust and not betray them until necessary. And his one thing that he'd bring in would be a PS4. Going back to the House of Cards reference there that he keeps making. And if he won, he'd give some of the money to his family and then use some to convince attractive women to date him.
So he's a pretty misogynist as well.
And then he'd travel to Vegas and gamble everything that was left on black.
So he's trash, basically.
He's beyond white trash, darling.
Why isn't he betting it on red? Nobody ever bets it on red. They always bet on black. Why is that?
No alliteration.
And
That's true.
his two idols are Nedda and Peter.
Not Paul Jackson.
Not Paul Jackson.
Why would anyone be a fan of Peter? I mean, honestly.
There we go.
I know look. Ugh.
And the
Stop being boring. Stop being
Well, he does
boring,
well.
Michael. Either way, just what gameplay did Peter have in the house? I know I don't talk about gameplay, but what gameplay did Peter have? He formed an alliance and got rid of Suzette. Whoopee, you good going. You got rid of Suzette. That's nobody cares. And you also didn't get rid of Andrew when people in your alliance wanted you to. When the person who put him up wanted to, who was in your alliance wanted to, you didn't use the veto on. You didn't get rid of Andrew again just because Emmett asked you not to, and then you sit in the backyard for hours upon end, complaining that complaining that everyone else around you is such an idiot for not keeping you and not letting you win, and then saying that when I'm invited back to Big Brother Canada All Stars, they'll vote me out early because I'm such a threat. It's and then the jury alliance thing. We get it, Michael. We get it, Michael.
With Jordan there, I think he made points on trying to be like McLovin. He repeatedly stated he's going to be like McLovin, but with the personality of Frank Underwood from House of Cards.
Is this new stuff? Is it? Yeah, I get it. I haven't actually seen Superbad, so I don't know. That most of that reference is lost on me, but I vaguely know who McLovin is.
And I have actually seen House of Cards. Both the
Michael, is this stuff all new to you? Is just the fact that Peter is one of the most hated house guests in Big Brother history just sort of new to you?
No, I just find it amusing. Honestly.
Okay then. Well, let me know when you get some opinions.
Given that I've not actually seen the first Canadian season, I can't really form a proper opinion on Peter. I just kind of like to mention him occasionally just to see your reaction.
Is Sony sponsoring Jordan this season?
No, but if you've ever seen House of Cards, there are some pretty offensive product placement with the PSP and the PS4 and the PS3 actually, between the 3 seasons.
So Jordan's really addicted to this House of Cards then, if he's referring to having the PS.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of terrible product placement. In terms of terrible product placement, House of Cards is up there for the Sony references. Because I'm just playing on this PSP or PS Vita.
This is Big Brother Canada. This is Canada, Canada reality television. Can we really not? Can we really lecture someone else, lecture people on product placement when Chevrolet Power Twist, Twist does Twist,
Yeah, but at one point in season 1 or season 2 of House of Cards, one of the lines of dialogue is, What are you playing on there? I'm playing on my PS Vita, TM." It is offensive product placement if you watch House of Cards.
I don't watch House of Cards, but okay.
Has Australia even got Netflix?
No,
Exactly. You don't even got Amazon. Not a proper country.
we have Amazon.
Yeah, not proper Amazon. It's only like the Kindle, isn't it? You can't actually buy physical goods from Amazon. Because I have discussed this with you and Michelle before. So, that is our last person. Yay!
I should have ended on a better one.
You should have told me to move them around. I would have done. So, thank you very much for watching and listening. We'll be back on Friday for our first audio recap, so that I can still wear my pyjamas, of the first eviction. And if you enjoy the show, and even if you didn't, please give us a like on YouTube. And if you want to see what we're rambling about this week, our Twitters are in the description down below. And if you're a fan of The Amazing Race and you've not heard Ben and Michelle's interview with everyone's favourite Kiwis, Kat and Jesse, the link is down there too. See you on Friday.
See ya.
Bye.